On fight. Let's go on now with more action. It's a kickboxing bout at 180 pounds. Let's welcome in first, out of the blue corner, Trevor Stanisalus.
So we stick with the kickboxing here. This will be our third of seven kickboxing bouts here tonight.
Yep, a full kickboxing undercard leading into our four MMA fight main card. Is that correct? Or is it three now?
As we see Travis Stanislaus coming out here, representing Hard Knocks 365, as they have been represented on the first three bouts of the card, a win, a loss, and let's see what the rubber match does for Travis Stanislaus.
Now, Travis Stanislaus not showing a record, so I don't know about his experience with kickboxing. Nor is his opponent, John Semerene. Neither guy showing an official weight either, to be fair.
And this is essentially what we call, somewhere in the middle of the middleweight battle. But we'll see what goes down here between these two fighters. Looks like some nice range for Travis Stanislaus. Has a real lengthy look to him.
Yeah, once again, we don't have a tail of a tape to read off of to give you an official height. Probably calling on probably 5'10", 5'11", what do you think? I don't know, it's taller than Mox.
In the kickboxing environment, Blake, he looks to have the perfect setup.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, look at those. Yeah, got a big wingspan on him, long range your arms, gonna want to stick that jab in the face.
It's gonna be certainly tough to grab those head kicks and certainly do damage to the upper portion of his body. As Ray Ramos gives him permission to enter the cage, and Travis Stanislaus enters and looks to make an impact here. As will be Hard Knocks 365
and his opponent
versus American Top Team Sunrise.
Fighting out of the red corner, let's welcome John Semerene. And when the action begins, the third man in the cage, Padrino.
As John Semerene out of American Top Team Sunrise will make his entrance. Semerene, of course, out of the red corner, fighter number 2.
Yeah, and John Semerene, a little bit more of a
different body types
here. Wall, yep. And there we see, of course, Landon Quinones, as well as longtime staple with the Wolfpack, Doug Gelman. Doug's daughter, Jordy, of course, a state official, Jordy Gelman, for mixed martial arts as well. But Doug's been with the Wolfpack for, 15 years or so. So same old crew with the ATT Wolfpack that's been on the scene for a while. Landon Quinones, loving that hair, guy.
So when you got Roger Crawl, you got Doug Gelman in your corner, I think you might already have an advantage.
You may indeed, and man, yeah, he's definitely put together. It'll be very, very interesting to see what all that horsepower does for Mr. Semerene. Sometimes those muscles take up extra blood and extra oxygen and gas you out a little bit quicker against a longer, rangier fighter. So,
and you would assume the power probably does lie with Semerene, but he's going to have to make those shots count because, as you said, Blake, if he's not landing those shots early, he gas him out a little bit sooner and, again, really open the door for Stanislaus to connect with some big kicks, perhaps, and could be the difference.
Yes, it would, and you would assume he would have the strength advantage, but strength plays very little into a kickboxing match. There will be no grappling. There will be no ground control. Wrestling strength is very real. The way you push off the planet. It is a concept called kinetic linking, Chadwick, that creates punching power that allows somebody with long, rangy arms to really crack that whip and put somebody down for the count. So do not think that Stanislaus cannot generate massive power with that arm of his.
So we're off and running here, round number 1.
Yeah,
fourth bout of the night.
Yeah, the reach difference is much bigger than the height difference. Much more pronounced here.
Still a little bit of a feeling out process as that up kick there, trying to keep him honest from Stanislaus. Looks like Stanislaus having a cup issue.
Yeah, kind of a traditional.
Oh, goes for that power punch right there, and he connects on the side of the head with the second one. Nice job to tie him up by Stanislaus.
Yeah. Nice jumping knee there from Stanislaus as well. He's got that head a little too high, though. If I'm Stanislaus, I want that chin down a little bit because you know with a height advantage like that, Semerene's looking for an overhand sooner or later. You do not want to have that chin up in the air to be on the receiving end of it.
Look like Stanislaus kind of throwing some wild shots right there.
Right there, just like that. Just like that. That's coming eventually. That big overhand looping right hand is coming. You do not want your chin to be in the way of it.
He may have graved Stanislaus, but as you said, Blake, it looks like Semerene setting him up for the big one.
Yes, it does. Stanislaus should do a little bit of fade and poke, fade and poke, fade and plant and throw. Very traditional Burmese Laotian style of that two-hand forward squared stance, looking to land knees for Stanislaus.
And looking at Semerene here, this looks like the type of fight he's taking on just to add a little bit more depth to his repertoire here, add another tool to his belt, if you will, as this guy looks like he's poised to really do some damage maybe in the MMA realm. Yeah,
I would certainly think so. And I'll tell you one thing I noticed about Stanislaus right now. I don't know how his training regimen is, but his stance and his body, if he could throw elbows, he would be a dangerous, dangerous individual. He's looking to palm that glove. You turn an elbow over the top of that, you'll turn the guy's face into chuck meat.
And Stanislaus here, not pressing too forward with that height advantage, but Semerene here catches him with a series of shots as we're heading to the final seconds of round number 1.
Yeah, and a beautiful job of conserving energy from Semerene as well. He could have gone wild and threw extra punches that wouldn't have mattered, and he didn't. I like that. That's a very veteran move.
And a couple shots landed right at the buzzer there by Travis Stanislaus as we take a look.
Nice job to tie him up by Stanislaus.
From round number 1, as you see Stanislaus there tries
that
jumping shot.
He's got that head a little too high, though. If I'm Stanislaus, I want that chin down a little bit. He's looking to land knees for Stanislaus.
With the tie clinch there from Semerene. In fact, roll the head, turn him around and do the
right now. I don't know how his training regimen is, but his stance and his body, that glove, turn an elbow over the top of that, you'll turn the guy's face into chuck meat.
Stanislaus for the big blow.
Here,
maybe coming in round 2.
Not pressing too
on the side of the head right there,
but
nice
height
job
advantage.
By Stanislaus, as you see, tie up his opponent. As Roger Kroll having a conference there with John Semerene, and he has to be pleased with what he saw throughout those first 2 minutes.
So far, if I'm Roger Kroll, which if I had a thimble full of Roger Kroll's knowledge, I'd be a lot better guy than I am now. But if I'm Roger Kroll, I'm telling him, do not fall in love with that right hand, because I've watched him double, triple up on it. You do not want to become predictable with that, especially with a guy that can throw a right knee or a left knee right to your chin without having to jump. That jumping knee looked good. Stanislaus can pretty much so get a knee to the sternum at least without jumping. Pretty easily.
As we'll see how this one plays out. Both men seem to have a strategy entering round number 1. We'll see if they deviate heading into round number 2 right here, as Travis Stanislaus probably played a little bit more defense in round number 1, but he still was somewhat effective on the offensive end.
Yeah,
he does have that size advantage.
Yeah, he's a guy that really wants to stay on the outside of that range. Does not want to beat, because if he's in his range, his true outside range, Stanislaus, Semerene can't hit him with the counter shot. He's just too far away. And Semerene can't hang on him and hold the gloves. Another jump and switch knee there. That's the third time Stanislaus has gone for that in this fight.
And Semerene, that shot did rock him against the cage there, not doing a whole lot of damage, but certainly keeping Stanislaus honest. As Semerene, once again, looks like he's setting up that big overhand right.
He has to be, and Stanislaus is still keeping that chin not hidden in the shoulder. Whenever the firefight comes, he's picking his head up straight, and he's squaring up. You've got no protection for the button when that happens. And if Semerene finds that jaw, it's going to be a bad night. Just like that.
Look at this combination here by Semerene as he's tied up in the clinch but continues to throw the knees. As Stanislaus doing everything he can to prevent the offense from continuing by John Semerene.
As he should. I'd like to see Stanislaus take control of that clinch. Big, long guy like that, use your leverage, pull him down, knee him. You can't knee the head in amateur Muay Thai, to be fair, if anybody's asking, from within the clinch.
But you can kick to the head right there as Travis Stanislaus connects right on the side of the head.
You certainly can.
Of John Semerene.
Yep, in this amateur, you cannot strike the head with anything that's not padded.
And you see the distance that Semerene is right now from Stanislaus. And Blake, it looks like Stanislaus has the opening to really connect with some shots, but it seems like he's just too passive.
Yeah, I don't know. And again, Semerene's staying in that range. He's inside of his range, that intermediate range I mentioned in the last fight.
And Semerene continues to press forward here, trying to keep
good
Stanislaus
right hook
on his heels. And there's a knee. Nice job by Semerene. Connects with a right, and that will bring us to the end of round number 2.
Literally ringing the bell as he rang the bell there.
He's the guy that really
that's
wants
the intermediate range, though, more pronounced that I mentioned under the Santiago Ciejo fight. And Semerene doing a very good job of staying there, so that they're not really in a full-on clinch, but they're also not outside where Stanislaus can turn his punch over and get good range. And Semerene's doing very, very good work with the intermediate range.
Semerene has done a nice job to
just like that.
The kicks with the
Look at this combination here by Semerene.
Overhand
right on the side of the head.
more kicks he throws, the more honest Stanislaus has to stay. And that can keep the door wide open for that big knockout blow.
He's just especially while Stanislaus already has a little bit of a habit of picking his head up, prairie dogging his head up out of the pole like a meerkat, up out of the hole and leaning back a little bit. You start kicking that front leg up where it doesn't follow like you want it to, and you're going to get too tall and lean back. And even if you don't get knocked down, you can still get dropped with a punch like that.
So John Semerene getting some last-minute words there from Roger Kral, who has to be very pleased with his charge throughout the first 2 rounds of this fight, looking very sound. As Padrino calls for the bell, here we go, round 3, the final frame in this kickboxing battle, the last opportunity for Travis Stanislaus to get back into this fight.
Yeah, that was a good opening stanza there from Stanislaus as well. The long punch with the knee in the middle, and he got back out. Semerene looking to find his range again, though.
And Semerene continues to push forward. And Stanislaus, once again, not really utilizing his size advantage here. And it seems like Stanislaus would rather kick than punch.
Yeah, well, your kicks are longer generally than your punches a lot of times, but Stanislaus, he may not understand how long that right hand really is. He could have landed that from the outside and not been countered quite a lot.
Someone who could maybe benefit from a boxing fight at some point in his career.
Absolutely.
As nice job there with a combination by Semerene. And it looks like Semerene could be gassing out a little bit here, but he's having enough to at least continue the offense.
Yeah, he's got some good work there on the inside. A couple good body shots, a little bit upstairs. Nothing too clean, but it's good work all around.
As Semerene,
that was a good right hand for Semerene.
Trying to continue the push forward.
Yeah.
As both men appear to be nearing the end of their gas tank, but again, we have about a minute or so to go in this final round.
Yeah, right on time. Yeah, Semerene's chopped that lead leg up. Now he's got to start coming upstairs.
And Semerene goes for the body shot and then goes for the overhand right yet again. As both these two men just punching back and forth. Neither man really landing much. Nice combination by Semerene. He's got Stanislaus against the cage.
Yeah, we got to be nearing the end of the round here. 10-second click at any time. Hands on the hips, never good for Semerene.
As that fatigue really could be kicking in there. Nice body shot by Semerene.
That was a slow right hand from yesterday from Stanislaus.
Yeah, that certainly looked like not a whole lot left in him.
10-second click.
And we'll see if a final flurry can be found by Travis Stanislaus.
Semerene's tired.
And Semerene throws a knee. Both men clearly tired at this point. That's the end of round number 3. You see the mutual respect there between Stanislaus and Semerene. As you see, Stanislaus tries a flurry of shots right here.
Good opening combination.
Semerene continues to come right back.
Yeah,
and Stanislaus
jab brings it back slow.
Landed that from the outside and not been countered quite a lot.
On the press, Stanislaus eats a jab.
Push forward.
Semerene circle into his power.
As both men appear, shot and then goes for
the head kick.
Overhand right yet again.
And that squared up stance for Stanislaus really kind of keep him from producing any kind of real power. That's part of it. The shots he landed didn't really earn Semerene's respect. And squared up stance, you don't get that hip rotation that you need to really push off and get that punching power I mentioned at the beginning of the fight.
So once again, you see the mutual respect here between both fighters and both camps as they both left it all inside the cage here. I'm leaning towards John Semerene getting the victory just because he was a little bit more active on the offensive end, but Travis Stanislaus, if he does end up in defeat, certainly nothing to be upset about.
No. And we don't have CompuStrike here, but if so, I feel that Semerene's numbers...
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds of action, we go to our judges' scorecards, and they've scored it for your winner by way of unanimous decision, John Semerene.
Somewhat expected unanimous decision right there for John Semerene as he picks up the victory over Travis Stanislaus. And John Semerene, a lot of blocks to now build on in his career moving forward.